So today's message is twofold with the mountain. First, the message is that you're already at the top and you need to turn around and look at the path that you've already taken and really see how far you've come and the work that you've done and who you've become on that journey and what you learned from that journey. And then really take in the view from the top and give yourself that satisfaction of having made it to the top of this mountain. And then realizing that it's time to take the steps towards the top of the next mountain, and understanding that we're not supposed to be at the top of that mountain yet, that it is the journey, that it is the path that we take getting there, that is what we're here for. And so really enjoying that and paying attention to what's on that path and allowing that path to unfold, as opposed to thinking that we have to be further than we are. You already made it to the top of one mountain, and you can give yourself the satisfaction of having done that, as well as pausing to enjoy it. Allow yourself to pause and enjoy where you are right here, right now, before you take the steps towards the next path, because you want to be taking those steps from a place of satisfaction, from a place of having overcome whatever you've overcome, and not from a place of still needing to prove something to yourself or to the universe or to society. Just from a place of, I know who I am, I know that I've come a long way, and I'm proud of myself. And from that internal dialogue of, you did it, you proved it to yourself that you could do it, you made it here. That's where you want to take the next steps, from being proud of yourself, from being satisfied with yourself, from appreciating who you are now as opposed to maybe who you were about 10 years ago. And then understanding and accepting that anything that we left behind in our past is transformed in our current reality. So it's either transmuted and you no longer need it, and it can come back in a completely new form because you've healed something, or it's just that the old version wasn't meant for this phase of your life, but a new version of that same thing can return to you. Not necessarily the same person or job or house or whatever, but the same energetic match to that vibration. So letting whatever has fallen away go, so that the new version of that frequency can match the healed version of who you are today on your journey and on your path, so that you can open up the door for that energy to come in. And then really paying attention to the signs. The tree is all about signs and synchronicities being shown to you, particularly if you have loved ones who have died, or your guides, angels, fairies, whatever it is that you believe in, are sending you signs. So paying attention to those signs and synchronicities on your path, they're giving you a little wink that you're headed in the right direction, and that they're supporting you, or they're letting you know that they are with you and they're watching you and they're participating in your life, especially if that's past loved ones who have transitioned into whatever they are now. They're still letting you know that they're there, that they're paying attention, that they're participating, and that they're playing this sort of game of life with you. So you can interact with them, or you can just notice the signs and synchronicities, and ask for signs and synchronicities. If you're not seeing them, you can make up your own like dialogue with beings, whatever that means to you, whether it's the energies of people who have transitioned or your guides, your angels, if you're just curious about what guides and angels mean and how you can interact with them, or the fairy realm, or whatever it is, fifth dimensional beings, higher dimensional beings, star beings. You can start building a dialogue with them by choosing what you want your signs and synchronicities to be, and by choosing what they mean when you see them. So you can basically build your own index of what different signs mean for you. And when you do that, it reprograms your subconscious to interact with your field in that way. So you can do that with numbers, you can do that with symbols, you can do that with phrases, songs. Animals are obviously a really great one. But you want to decide, you don't always have to be asking the outside world what something means. You can just make it up for yourself. So you can choose, like, if I see a hummingbird, then that is my dead relative communicating with me, letting me know that they're there. Or you can choose that, finding a penny on the ground means that luck has arrived, or any random synchronicity that you want to choose. It can be a key, it can be an owl is one of mine. Clovers obviously mean things to me, but I have signs and synchronicities. I basically have like a book of signs and synchronicities and what they mean specific to me. So I am in communication with my reality on a constant basis, and I see these bits of information everywhere, and it's like talking to your field. So the more signs and synchronicities you build up, the more your field can converse with you, and that makes it more interactive without having to specifically hear from guides or star beings or dead relatives. You can build a rapport out of images or words and songs, anything like that. So let's see, anything else? Claiming that your path, I said this in a video before, but claiming that the path that you have already been on for the last, let's call it 10 years, you did it right. You did exactly what you needed to do, even if it looked like failure. Claiming that whatever it was exactly what it needed to be, and that you are where you needed to be because of it, is how you build a solid foundation for where you're going. If what you're telling yourself is, I fucked up, I shouldn't have done that, I should have done this, I made all of the mistakes, then you're creating your future from like a fractured foundation, and you don't want to do that. You want to create your future from, I'm exactly where I need to be. I have no idea maybe what I'm doing, but I know that I am where I need to be. I know that I have made all the right choices, even if I don't know how they were right yet. And maybe that's none of my business, but I can claim that who I am today is who I need to be for the future version of myself. And I can claim that I appreciate the past version of me that went through all those trials and tribulations, and that she did the best that she could, and that where she is now is because of all of that, and that we are proud to be who we are now. Things like that. Like, you really want to build yourself up in the way that you would build up your best friend if they were telling you that they felt like they did everything wrong. Because you're creating that frequency foundation to build the rest of your life from.